Alright, hi Paul. I want to thank you for your video today. I had a good time watching it, so did Ernie. And the TVs were neater than I even thought they could be. So while I don't have so many neat TVs to show you, I'll show you some other things. Starting with the Violano, right there. That's something I restored for Ernie over a period of about 4 years. I was working on it part-time, but I finally have it playing. Want to hear it? Let's turn it on, ready? Let's start from scratch.
Nope.
Just turn it off and turn it off. Hi, Paul. Welcome to our video tour. We'll start off with a Violano Virtuoso that I rebuilt painstakingly over a period of about 4 years. Even now, it barely works. Let me open the doors. So you can see the mechanism. Okay. Let me get over here to the remote control. Okay, up here we have an old electric fan. This is a gyro fan made by the Adams Bagnall Company. And let me go turn this. Would you maybe mind turning that on, Ernie?
You better get closer to it.
Yeah, I'll get closer, but no, I have a good picture right now. I think basically what it is 2 GE desk fans on a pivoting center arm. The fans are offset a little bit, so the thrust produced by the breeze propels the whole thing in a circle. And more effective than most ceiling fans. But boy, you know when it's running. And over here I have a few TV sets, or at least parts of TV sets. You should recognize at least two of these. This is one of your Zenith consoles that you sold Mike Patella. This is a Zenith St. Regis. And I'm having a little trouble with the chassis. It's out in the garage right now being worked on. It hasn't been refinished yet, by the way. This one is that real nice 12-inch Zenith console, the Adams model. Well, Paul, it was nice to show you some of these things. I really enjoyed your video tour. I really got a kick out of the TVs. The Dumont is just fantastic. And to think there were almost 3 of them in existence, but Ernie threw his out, right out in the trash heap. But I can't believe the color wheel photographed as well as it did. So I just want to say thank you and tell you how much we appreciate the trouble you took to do this for us. So we hope you enjoy our video tour. Even though I don't know as much about the items, perhaps you have some stories to fill us in on them, and then I can just ramble on, and then start saying silly asshole things, you know, baggy things, you know, so you really know the story, what we're really about here. And, oh, go ahead and stop it now. I think I've said enough. You shooting now? Okay, 5, 4. Well, Paul, thanks a lot for the videotape that you sent us, and I hope you enjoy our tour half as much. I got such a kick out of those TVs in your collection. The Dumont is just fantastic. I can see why people flip out over it. But the color wheel and the early Zenith color set are also equally unbelievable. I mean, how you got such good pictures of them on a video camera is beyond me. But as you see, you know, we do both like TVs, and this one is one of my favorites. I like it because it has a nice round picture, and those controls over there to my left, those brown plastic knobs, are kind of neatly arranged. I like the big brass tuning knob right over here for turning the station from one to another, and the brass trim underneath me, and the brass ring around me. Just great. I really enjoy this set.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, hi, Paul. In closing, I just want to take an opportunity to thank you again for that neat tape you sent us. I got a kick out of watching all of your TVs in color. You flicker or not, they're fantastic. And the Dumont was particularly exciting. To think there's only 2 of them in the country when there could have been 3, Ernie. So we hope you enjoyed our video tour as much as we enjoyed yours, and we hope to see you in person sometime. Now, in the meantime, let me show you one last TV set. I like this one. This is one of my favorites. I really am fond of the knobs here, the brown knobs. I think they're very well laid out, and the big brass one for tuning the stations of continuous tuning, and then the little speaker grill up there, but it's not quite in line with the other knobs. It has a certain charm to it. But this, of course, is from your collection, and we get a kick out of it. And it's one of the first sets I got working, and I really enjoy it a lot. So, in closing, we hope to see you soon, and please be in touch with us. And the music box is sold. Now, is this thing on? Well, Paul, I just wanted to say thank you very much for that nice videotape. I enjoyed everything in your collection. The Dumont was wonderful. To think there could have been 3 of them in existence. And the color wheel was even more wonderful than I thought it could be. We hope you enjoyed our video tour, and we hope to see you in person someday. So thanks again, and signing off. Wow. Hold the close-up button. Okay, here we are rolling. Paul, thank you very much for the nice videotape. I enjoyed the video tour. I got a big kick out of the Dumont. To think there almost were 3 of those things in existence. And of course the color wheel was as fun to see as I expected it to be. So I did enjoy everything, and we hope you enjoyed our video tour. And in closing, this is a Stromberg Carlson TC10 Manhattan TV from your collection, and it's all restored now and working pretty good. So hope you enjoy that too. Bye-bye. Oh yeah, I can see it is.
So soon I hope we'll have some more TV sets going here. But that's a nice original finish, isn't it? Not mint, but it's too good to change. Whereas this one here, it's not such a well-preserved set. It's all there, but the finish is shot. And that grill cloth, I think, is going to have to be changed. But where will I ever find anything that looks like that? Okay. Let's go on in the music room and look at the phonographs. So, what are you going to do now?
This one down here, don't start it.
Yeah, why not?
No, this one's on the top shelf.
All right.
Don't start it.
You know, Ernie, maybe you could come and narrate and tell me what machines these are.
No, nobody
Okay, I'm in the music room now, Paul. I'll go in a pan from left to right. More clocks and a kaleidoscope. On this corner is a Kalamazoo duplex and a little Calliope music box. I can play that later. Most of these things are pretty familiar to you. And over there is a Berliner. I'll come in close on that.
The button.
Okay.
There's 2 feet.
All right. Anyway, here's a Berliner, and the horn looks god awful, but the paint's original. Ernie wants to repaint it. What do you think? And here is something. Walt Bellum has a couple of these things. The Kurtzman all-glass phonograph. And there's a story behind that. Ernie bought this about 20 or 25 years ago, by mail, sight unseen. The fellow had 2 of them for sale, and Ernie bought one, and the man shipped it, and it came in a carton, and it was just shards of broken glass when he opened the package. So, not to be cheated out of this rare find, Ernie went up and bought the other phonograph, and bought a plane seat, a seat on the plane, and carried it home with it next to him, and it made the trip safely. A lot of old 78 records in the shelves here. Here's a BC with the correct horn. The horn's not in great shape. This is the machine I told you about a year or so ago. The friction amplifier didn't work. The friction shoe was kind of broken up and pretty bad condition. And I replaced the shoe with one made out of Bondo. I'll come in close on it. With this camera, I can't come in too close. I think it'll get fuzzy. But anyway, the friction shoe sort of looks like the original one. As close as I could come. And the wheel, instead of being amber, I slipped the old one off and I made a wheel out of pulley out of plexiglass, out of acrylic resin, out of a piece of round stock, which I turned in the lathe. I ground a tool bit to a V shape and used that to cut the groove, and then also made a mold out of Teflon using the same cutting tool, and used that mold for forming the friction shoe, which I then finished by hand and mounted. And it works pretty well. But having never heard another one, an original one, I don't know how well this works. Better or worse? Don't know. I find this to be a little temperamental. Once in a while I do have to take the shoe off and clean the dust which is accumulated, worn off of the friction wheel. Wipe it off with a Q-tip. There used to be a nice cloth on this horn, but living in Florida, the bugs get to these things. Jesus, what an awful record to play. Anyway, there was some distortion there. I think it's in her voice. I'm not going to blame the PC for that. Well, there's a regular orthophonic with an electric motor, and then an Edison, a long play Edison, a maroon gem, an oxydophone, and there's the calliope over there. I'll play the oxydophone because it really has a nice sound. I don't know how well it'll record on the camcorder. I think Ernie got this back in the 60s from I think the company was called Domart. Ernie, where'd you got it from Domart?
Domart, yeah.
Domart. And where were they located? Maybe Paul knows the guys.
The two names were Dominic. There's a combination of the names. I forgot what it was. New York, upstate New York.
Uh-huh. And so what, did they put out a list or something of things for sale every month?
All they ever sold were 78s, and one time in their list they said that they played their 78s on an oxydophone. So I inquired to see if it was for sale, and they said yes. They got it from the Henny Green estate.
It belonged to her son, apparently?
Yeah. So I bought it.
But it had the original reproducer. In fact, the little velveteen-lined boxes there, the reproducer was stored in that for years and years. But the electric pump down below had been thrown away. So what we have, well, it works. It just doesn't look so great. Inside here is something I got from a surplus house. The towels help cut down the noise. But there's a modern motor and a gassed air vane pump, which at least does what the original did, even if it doesn't look the same. There's the little box that the reproducer is stored in. And then a receiver, an oil separator, and I guess that is a reservoir and a cooling tank. And then the air goes through another filter, a cotton filter, before being sent to the sound box. So there's a record on it already. Let's see. A needle in there. Now this machine has the original finish with the exception of this top, which I did redo. It's more or less the same color as the case. It's a little more transparent. As you know, with an oxydophone, you don't get any sound until the power switch is thrown and the compressed air hits the reproducer. This Ambarola, Ernie, is what?
That's the Model A.
A 1A?
No, the 1A is a little older. Oh, no, that's the 1A, yeah, sorry. And
Okay.
it plays the cylinders
Yeah.
of wax 2 and 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And the bakelite.
And then a Rosenfeld, is that it?
That's a Rosenfeld Columbia.
And the Model B home with a Signet horn.
And then a